From Perry High School in Perry Township. WOAC TV 67 Sports proudly presents High School Basketball 1991. Tonight, it's the number 6 team in the state of Ohio, the Perry Panthers, hosting the Glenoak Golden Eagles. And this TV 67 special sports presentation is being brought to you in part by George Wakeham Ford. George Wakeham really is your friend at the factory. Rex Reliable Heating and Air Conditioning. For comfort and economy, call one of Stark County's oldest and largest heating and cooling dealers. Valley Systems and Hydro Laser Technologies, working today for a better tomorrow. And Toyota, and your Toyota dealers. Hello again, everyone. Scott Davis, along with my broadcast partner, Tom Canel, our statistician, Vic Steffen. Tonight, Lee Carpenter, producing with the fine folks of Image Video, under the direction of Dean Marini. Well, Tom, it's kind of a historical night here tonight as the Perry Panthers attempt to become the first Federal League team in a decade to go undefeated. The last time that happened, back in the 1980-81 season, Canton South went 12-0 in the league that year under our friend and former colleague, head coach Bob Delap. Incidentally, one starter from that South team, Jim Ziegler, is now the girls' coach right here at Perry High School, so it's like going around full circle. Tonight, Perry's head coach, Larry Wilson, trying to win career victory number 273 here at Perry. And with the win tonight, Perry will also tie a school record for most wins in a regular season, 18, which is set back in 1987. And I would think, Tom, if Perry does indeed go undefeated in league play, it's going to be quite an accomplishment. Just look at it this way. Top 4 seeds in the upcoming Canton Sectional District Tournament, 3 are in the Federal League. Perry, Worcester, and Jackson. So to go undefeated against the type of play they've played, game in and game out, that would be quite an accomplishment.
Well, you know, if you look around the state, you don't see very many undefeated teams at all. And the Panthers are in an area where they play pretty good basketball. There's not many schlocks around here. And as you say, they go out and they earn it. But let's face it, they were loaded coming in. We knew this wasn't going to be any surprise. The question was, were they going to stay healthy? Larry's not had very good luck lately with regard to injuries. Hare was out most of one of his whole seasons here a couple of years ago. Everything's pretty much come together for him. They still have to put it together going into the tournament to beat their nemesis, and that's the McKinley Bulldogs.
Their only loss to the Bulldogs, 17-1 overall. Glenoak under Jim Nicodemo, 9-9. They've had just a strange season. They came out of the gate 4-1. They split their next 10 games. They've lost their last 3, but listen to the margins. They lost in overtime 2 weeks ago, 4 points to Timken. Then last weekend, they lost by 5 to Jackson and by 6 to New Philadelphia. They're a very young team, so they're right on the edge. They have their up nights, they have their down nights, and this is a tough test to try to get back on the winning track here at Perry against one of the top teams in the state of Ohio.
Well, they're young, but as Jim Nicodemo probably would agree, this is the end of the season, so they've got another whole year behind them. So the youth that they started the season with should show some maturity as we get now towards the tournament. They have played good the last couple of weeks. The question is, how will they approach this game tonight? Will they try to play right up with Perry, or will they try to take maybe a page out of Lake's book and what Perry looked at last week, which was a bit of a slowdown game? Only time will tell what their selection will be. The first time they played, it was 58-46, so it was not a high-scoring contest.
Of course, Perry with what I like to call Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside. Mr. Inside, Chip Hare, 6'10", senior center, all-county, all-state candidate, averaging 21 a game.
Going to Dayton.
Mr. Outside is Steve Garner, 6'5", senior, one of the best three-point shooters and one of the best foul shooters you'll see. Then add to that Chad Spurgeon, who can hit the three-pointer outside, but not afraid to go to the boards as well. So we're going to pause and be back and set the scene for tonight's game. It's Glenoak and Perry. In the middle, Jason Zerger, 6'6", senior, averaging 17 per game. At forward, 6'5", sophomore Doug Meyer at 13 per contest. And 6'3", senior Ray Cardoli, he's averaging 6 per game. In the backcourt, Mark Mucci 5'8 senior, averaging 6 per game, and Jeremy Foltz, a 6'1 junior, averaging 3 per contest. For the Perry Panthers, Chip Hare in the middle, 6'10 senior, averaging 21 per game. At forward, Chad Spurgeon, number 22, Jason Pettay, number 00, and at the guard, Steve Garner, number 32, Tremaine Young is number 20.
Zerger at 6'6", looks mighty small when compared to Hare at 6'10". One thing about Hare, in addition to being 6'10", he carries a pretty good deal of weight.
As Jim Nicodemo told us this afternoon, they had trouble even in practice trying to simulate the height.
Have to put a guy on a ladder.
You've got 6'10", 3 kids at 6'5", and Tremaine Young at 6'1", who plays a lot bigger. An excellent point guard and rebounder. Right to the hole is Chip Hare.
Hare spotted an opening, faked it down the middle, and took it baseline, just powered in. Awfully strong move.
Again, when you're the underdog and you're on the road, you don't want to fall behind early. This is Foltz.
Nice head fake. Defender just sailed on by. Well, we found out earlier the Eagles are going to just try to play with them.
And Meyer knocked it away from Chip Hare. How about our officials tonight?
Yeah, we have 2 of them. George Copeland, he's retiring tonight after 30 years. He's from Canton, and Ray Poland, who we've seen on football telecasts before.
Again, Glenoak pressuring the inbounds play. Steve Gardner with the basketball, guarded by Foltz. Tremaine Young down to Spurgeon at the 3-point arc to Tremaine. Pettay back to Tremaine in the lane. He'll put it up. No good, and rebound comes to Jason Zerger. Zerger will take it all the way, feed it off inside to Meyer. Nice play.
Zerger making like a guard, 6'6", brought it up the floor behind a back dribble, and a dish off for an easy deuce.
And Glenoak has the early lead.
Glenoak playing pressure man-to-man. There's a good screen.
Chip Hare. You mentioned Gardner's special, over 40%. Instead, he goes in the lane. And the rebound to Meyer. Glenoak with the ball and a 4-2 advantage. Mucci in the lane, no good. Rebound Pettay. And threw it by Gardner. Turnover for Perry.
Well, that time Garner just reached for it and it rolled off the edge of his fingers and it was gone. So Glenoak pressing the pace, actually forcing the pace early here in the ball game.
So far, so good for the Golden Eagles. They lead at 4-2. Mucci, who will be running the show tonight for Glenoak, guarded by Tremaine Young. Cardoli, guarded by his opposite number, Spurgeon, swing it around Mucci. Glenoak patient, try to get inside to Meyer, off his foot, controlled by Gardner. Steve Gardner with the basketball. Played a little over 2 minutes. Perry trails 4-2. And Tom, a pretty good crowd tonight considering the near 0 degree and even less with the wind chill. It is a very cold, blustery night tonight.
There was no bargain. This is going to be Glenoak's ball on the alternate possession. You're right, that ride out from downtown was a pip. Of course, the way you guys left my restaurant tonight, you had an extra layer of fat. You guys could
when he looked there, the cupboard was bare.
Certainly did a lot of eating.
4-2. Well, we accepted the challenge.
And we've got a foul inside. We got 3 seconds inside, so a turnover. And we've been at 4-2 now for a while.
Well, the Golden Eagles hanging tough. You would also assume the lower the score, the more advantage to Glenoak as you look to the right there in the sweater, Jim Nicodemo, the head coach.
Well, if they can keep it in the range that the first game was, which was 58-46, they'd be very pleased, I think.
Zerger corrals the loose basketball. He handles it very well for a big man, but his pass inside is picked off by the other big man, Chip Hare.
See, they're not taking advantage of Perry's coldness. They've come down 2 or 3 times, and they're not able to build on this 2-point lead. They could have done some damage. There's another opportunity.
Young lost the handle. Cardoli to Foltz. Put it up. No good. Cardoli comes away with it. Nice feed. Zerger to Meyer. Missed it. Put it up again and hits it.
Glenoak really scrapping, working for the loose balls. Intensity is up in the green shirts.
And we'll get a foul on Cardoli.
It'll be an out of bounds to Perry, number 22 against number 22.
And Perry's six-man checks in. That's Brian Malinowski, 6'2" junior.
Garner goes out. See the reach in, and they're going to get their feet tangled right here. And down goes Spurgeon. Foul on Cardoli.
Chad Spurgeon with the basketball. Picked by Pettay. Ball knocked away by Foltz. Spurgeon gets it back.
Cardoli got away with a reach in.
6'2" Glenoak, and we're midway through the first period. Malinowski feeds it inside to Hare, and they're going to call a foul on Meyer.
Little shove from behind on Meyer, a 6'5" sophomore. Hare doesn't control this pass very well at the beginning, but there he finally corrals it. As he turns, he gets a little shove from behind. So it'll be an inbounds under the bucket, and Spurgeon will inbound.
Feed in, inbound set play to Chip Hare.
Pretty tough to stop that play. That's one of those ones where you couldn't practice without a ladder.
Now Chip has all 4 of Perry's points. Golden Eagles lead cut to 2. Throw across court. Cardoli passes up to 3. Swing it over to Foltz.
Perry's in a zone now.
Cardoli.
Kind of a matchup zone.
Glenoak showing some patience. Got it inside. Meyer puts it hard off the glass. Tremaine Young comes down with it to Malinowski. Hare running down the court. Gets the pass. Put it in. Good pass by Malinowski, and Chip did a nice job running the floor that time.
Glenoak coaches wanted a, I don't know what you'd call it, because Hare took it and flattened the defender, just ran over him.
Zerger behind the back to Cardoli. And they'll call a foul on, looks like Tremaine Young.
There you see Cardoli in the reach in that time by Young.
Just over 3 minutes remain here in the first period. We are tied at 6. Glenoak with the basketball. And Zerger faked the shot, threw it inside for Meyer, but Meyer thought he was going to take the shot, and on the miscommunication, turnover to the Perry Panthers. This is Tremaine Young.
A lot of helter-skelter basketball for only 12 points on the board.
Chip Hare, count it.
When they take a time to set it up and get it to Hare, he's been unstoppable.
Good look at Chip, bound for the University of Dayton. 8-6 Perry, or you could say it's Hare 8 and Glenoak 6. He has all the points so far for the Perry Panthers.
9.
Chip, a 62% foul shooter on the season.
And now a little bit of pressure by the Panthers.
So Zerger
carried the ball.
Boy, for a big man, he handles the ball quite a bit.
That time he couldn't get it out of his hand. He went to pass it, it just kind of stuck to his hip. And we got some subs coming in here.
Zach Johnson and Reggie Brown check in. Johnson 30, Brown 20. Cardoli and Zerger will take a break. Of course, Reggie Brown, a familiar name, the starting tailback on Bob Cummings' football team. He wears number 2 in football and adds a 0 for basketball. So they'll lose some height, gain some quickness in those substitutions. Speaking of quickness, Tremaine Young. Probably one of the more unheralded players in the county. His forte isn't necessarily offense. It's running the show and playing good defense and hitting the boards well for a point guard.
Well, it's hard to keep an identity all your own when you're surrounded with such good players. Everybody just kind of melds together.
We talked at the outset about Hare and Garner and Spurgeon, and there's a shot made by Mucci. But you get Pettay inside to help out Hare, and of course he's now rounding into shape. Look at the pass down here to Hare, and he stuffs it!
That one always brings the crowd to its feet, no exception here. A breakaway stuff. Little nudge that time by Meyer on the way to the hoop. And Hare again hustling.
Boy, and I tell you, he's brought this crowd to its feet here at Perry High School.
Hare here will take the long pass. Watch the nudge by Meyer right there. Hare says, nah, June.
Chip Hare has 11 of Perry's 13 points.
And then he went almost diving for the loose ball there, knocking it out of bounds. Last home game for the big guy. He wants to leave an impression, as he hasn't already. I think
line, he's already surpassed his season's average of 3. Jeremy's a 65% free throw shooter.
And a 2-point ball game at the 1:18 mark of quarter number 1.
Zerger is back, and Meyer will take a seat for Glenoak. Again, pressuring the inbounds pass. 13-11, Perry leads it. Chip Hare off to a great start with 11 of Perry's 13 points, but Glenoak hanging tough here. Federal League finale for the Perry Panthers, trying to become the first team in a decade to go undefeated in league play. So Spurgeon makes a nice move on Reggie Brown. Talked about Spurgeon at the outset. He can go inside like that, move, and he can shoot the three-pointer.
And a foul on Young from behind.
And Kevin Hoffman just brought your luggage in.
Oh.
Chip Hare will get a breather and a nice hand from the crowd here, and Jason Pettay's back in. Mickey Saban is also in the game for Perry. Whose phone number is that?
3M364. I don't know. I don't even know what country that is.
Sounds like a copy machine.
We gotta get a look at this week. Last week we were on the same side. We couldn't see what the number configurations were.
45 seconds to go. Glenoak trails by 4. Ball is loose, tipped around. Foltz had it, lost it to Garner. He needs some help. Finds it in the form of Mickey Saban with 30 seconds left to go. Saban kick it off. Malinowski off the glass. For Bryan, his first 2, biggest lead for the Panthers, 6 with 20 seconds to go here, first period. See if Glenoak can get a good shot off here. Reggie Brown drives, cut off by Malinowski. Gets it right back. 3-point shot is up and good. 3-point bucket by Bruce Quinn, who just checked in, making his presence felt. A 3-point. We had some scoring there down the stretch. 17-14, Perry leads it. Chip Hare with 11. Chad Spurgeon, Tremaine Young, and Brian Malinowski each with a bucket for 2. For Glenoak, Doug Meyer has 5 points. Bruce Quinn hit that 3-pointer late. Jeremy Foltz with 5. And Mark Mucci has a bucket for 2. For Perry, Garner, Hare, Malinowski, Pettay, and Spurgeon. It's Meyer, Zerger. We're going to see number 14 for the first time. Steve Elliott at guard for the Golden Eagles, along with Reggie Brown and Bruce Quinn.
And Perry will inbound to start quarter number 2.
Interesting that Jim Nicodemo in that first period used 8 players and now just used his 9th, and there's Garner for 3.
One pass, and there it was.
Well, Steve, as we mentioned at the outset, hitting better than 40% of his 3-point shots. Probably the most consistent 3-point shooter we've seen in our 5-game regular season series. This is Reggie Brown. Hare strong with the rebound, kick it out to Spurgeon. He's got Malinowski and Pettay with him. Garner is open for 3.
Jim Nicodemo leaps to his feet and wants timeout.
As my broadcast partner would say, wants to stop the bleeding here. Nicodemo's way coming in here under these circumstances against one of the top teams in the state of Ohio and trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Perry comes out. They're shooting 83% from the floor. Early it was Chip Hare inside. His team, Nicodemo's, holding their ground, trailing by only 3. Garner comes out, hits a couple of 3s. Suddenly it's a 9-point lead.
Well, Garner got one from each wing, and it was wide open.
Well, let's see what's coming up on the entertainment side of TV 67. Sunday night at 7, the movie Yanks with Richard Gere. That's the Hall of Fame showcase. And Tuesday night's 8 o'clock movie Nighthawks with Sylvester Stallone. TV 67, your home for entertainment and sports. Reggie Brown with it. Down in the corner to Meyer, guarded by Pettay. Back to Brown. Mucci to Brown. Doug Meyer. Well, Doug is the leading scorer for Glenoak now. He's got 7.
Glenoak continues to apply now. Hard man-to-man after that timeout.
Garner with the runner. Nope. And he's called for traveling.
Speaking of runners, then we have an injury. Myers limping out underneath the baseline. Now he starts to limp up court. There you see him. Shakes it off. Ray Poland about to hand the ball to be inbounded, and we're playing ball again at the 6:45 mark, 23-16.
Perry's biggest lead at 9, now cut to 7. This is Cardoli at the 3-point circle. Zerger outside, guarded by Garner. Good ball movement by the Golden Eagles.
Throwing it around the zone.
Zerger for 3, and the big man hits it.
Those threes get you right back in it.
And Jason has his first points of the game, and suddenly the lead's cut back to 4.
It's very entertaining. Good ball game.
We're hoping to see 2 good ones back-to-back, as we did at the Alliance Worcester game on Tuesday night. Call a holding foul. Meyer, I believe that'll be his second.
See, we're going to give that one to Mucci, or is it Meyer? I think it was Mucci.
Mucci, you got it right.
Here we'll take a look. 24 Mucci's going to just try and sneak and pick a pocket from behind here. Hare's going to bring it around, and Mucci says, I'll have a swipe at that. And he gets caught. Hand in the cookie jar.
Lob into Hare. Double team, puts it up and hits it. That's his best shot of the night.
And you couldn't do much more defensively. They jumped right inside of his jersey. They still popped it in.
Everybody loved the stuff, but he had 2 guys hanging all over him, and he still put it down. Zach Johnson against Hare, had to adjust the shot. And Glenoak will keep the basketball.
We couldn't see the referee make the call, but we heard the groan.
Cardoli with a screen from Zach Johnson, no good. Coming down with it, Garner. Double team, needs some help. And they'll give the ball to Perry. Approaching the 5-minute mark, second period, 25-19 the score. Perry with it in a 6-point lead, and they'll turn it right over.
Traveling music on the carry, stuck to the hand.
Chad Spurgeon back in for the Panthers with 2 points. Garner will sit down, he has 6. Cardoli and Mucci handling the basketball. This is Reggie Brown.
Good, just going to rotate the basketball around.
Glenoak's been very patient, and it's paid off for him. They're still in this ball game, 25-19 the score. Coming in as the underdogs here tonight. Brown makes his move, tried to get it up over top of Pettay. Hare comes away with it. And they'll call a foul.
That's kind of a wild runner that time by Brown. He just forced it up way high off the glass. I think he's going to go over and have a chair. There's Hare. He took it off the backboard and had lots of competition for that one.
It's his 3rd point of the period. And the big man now with 14 in the game. Make it 15. Biggest lead of the night for the Perry Panthers, 8 points, 4:50 to go, second period. My mind went back for a moment to the last time we were here at Perry a year ago when they clinched the Federal League with a win over Lake, and of course Chip Hare was our halftime guest. He was on the shelf with an injury, and we have a foul here.
That's what I say. This year for Perry has been fortunate from that standpoint. They've pretty much stayed together. Cardoli with the drive, and he's hammered. He'll shoot a pair.
Yeah, Pettay's missed a couple of games, but certainly no one's been out for that extended stretch like Chip Hare was.
Well, of all the guys to miss, Hare would be the one you'd miss the most. Not that the other guys don't have talent, but it's hard to replace that aircraft carrier in the middle.
Steve Garner will check in at the next opportunity. Glenoak really needing a bucket here. And they'll call Malinowski for a shove. Either shove or a block.
Ray Poland calls a block. Malinowski will move right to the baseline, never get position established.
Chip Hare will get a breather. 15 points, leading scorer in the game. Garner back in with 6. 4:17 to go here, second period. Panthers lead it 27-19. Jeremy Foltz is 1 for 1 tonight. He's got 5 points in the game. He had 4 points against Perry in the first meeting over at Glenoak. That one rim and no. First missed foul shot of the night.
And we had a loose ball. Foul on, we'll find out.
Cardoli, I believe, 22.
And it's exactly right. Very good. Those vitamins are working.
Well, that fish we had tonight for dinner, brain food. Need all the help I can get. Well, again, the 1-1. Both teams now over the limit. See, Jason Pettay will try to get in the scorebook. Jason, a 62% foul shooter. He had 6 points against Glenoak in the first meeting, and he's in the scorebook.
Just inching away now, up to 9. Got ice over on the bench on the leg of number 42, Doug Meyer for Glenoak. Remember, he hobbled up the floor here just a few minutes ago.
They can ill afford to lose Meyer, number 2 scorer on this Glenoak team.
His right knee looks like he must have got maybe a clash of knees.
Cardoli. Zach Johnson. They move it well on the perimeter. They just can't get inside. Zerger will try.
And they can't get that offensive rebound. They're getting one opportunity.
As we mentioned at the outset, when Hare is in there, you've got 6'10" and 3 kids at 6'5", and Tremaine Young, who plays much bigger than 6'1". And a travel called on Spurgeon.
Spurgeon gave him all the moves he had.
Three and a half minutes to go here, first period. Perry, full court pressure. Zerger with it, guarded by Pettay. It down to Foltz. Zerger tried to feed it off to Johnson and threw it away.
Just went right off Johnson's hands.
You see Larry Wilson. Hands on his knees there.
Remember last year when Dave Cady came over? Was it last year or the year before?
2 years ago.
And he wore his sweatsuit outfit just like Larry wears.
Garner fakes the 3. Zach Johnson comes away with the basketball, and he'll take it in. Smooth move. Johnson has his first 2, 6'2" sophomore. Going to see Brett Stockdale in for the first time. And
Larry
Jason
Wilson.
Pettay will take a breather.
Larry Wilson not happy. Gave the bench over there a Fred Harold special with his foot.
Well, Perry now operating with both big men, Pettay and Hare, on the bench. So we've got Stockdale, Malinowski, Gardner. This man, Spurgeon, couldn't get it to go.
And we got a
Young
technical foul.
hanging on the rim.
Spurgeon was hanging on the rim. Spurgeon sees it wide open. He goes right down the middle. Now he goes to stuff. He misses it, but he hangs on. Bends the rim down, and Ray Poland says, well, that's a no-no.
Mucci's going to shoot the technical. He's a 70% foul shooter. It's good for second on the Golden Eagles to Cardoli at 72%. Mark is quite a story, TC. He's averaging 6 points a game. But last weekend, while many of his teammates struggled offensively, he brought it up a notch and scored 30 points in the 2 weekend games.
Very cool under pressure that time. He put both of them right in the center of the net.
Well, you could have a potential 5-point play here. Since Glenoak gets the basketball, they could bury a 3. They trail it by 6. Perry's biggest lead at 10. This is Cardoli. Zerger. One of the few offensive boards for Glenoak. Cardoli with the left hand.
That was a dinner bucket play that time by Cardoli. Fought for the rebound, fought for position, and laid it in.
As Larry Wilson looks at the scoreboard, he sees that the lead has been sliced to 4, so Glenoak hanging tough here. In the lane as Young put it up, but wave it off. Foul before the shot. I think it's on Mucci, number 24.
We'll see Young. He sees the baseline, then he puts a good move on and takes it in the inside. Will be Mucci. Young will shoot 1 plus the bonus.
Mucci's second foul. Jason Pettay is going to check back in. And Stockdale will sit down. Good look at Tremaine Young. 2 points in the ball game. His best offensive outing of the year against Glenoak in the first meeting, 19 points. He's averaging 8 per game. Couldn't get the front end of the 1-and-1 to go, and Zerger comes down with the rebound. Glenoak trails by 4. Just under 2 minutes to go. Mucci and Young 1-on-1. Mucci got a step. Kick it off to Foltz. Behind the back dribble off the glass. Couldn't get it down.
Well, he got it right in there. Just didn't get any luck on the roll. Rolled around the hoop and came off the front.
Dangerous pass, but Malinowski comes away with it. Foltz all over him.
Got him with a push.
Talked to Jim Nicodemo at the tournament draw, and he said, Scott, what we really need here is a strong effort by the kids, and I think he's getting it here tonight.
Plenty of hustle. The only time they really had a problem was when they little lackadaisical for those 2 long 3-pointers by Garner, and 1 timeout took care of that problem.
They haven't shot the ball that well, and you can credit the Perry defense and the big men inside for adjusting a lot of those shots as we get a good shot of Brian Malinowski, the 6th man of the Perry Panthers. Brian has 3 points. He's a 70% foul shooter, averaging 6 points per game. Talked about Mark Pittman with McKinley, Malinowski with Perry, 2 of the better 6 men we've seen in our travels. Young will get a breather, and Mickey Saban checks back in for his second tour duty. 5-8. A little short on that one. Mucci comes away with it. A 5-point Perry lead. Minute 20 to go here, second period. Cardoli for 2. And Garner with the rebound.
And foul. Going to be on number 30, Zach Johnson. So Glenoak with a couple of opportunities here to, there you see the reach in on the foul by Johnson, but a couple of opportunities the last 2 times down the floor, but not much luck taking the ball into the hole.
Well, Bruce Quinn replaces Mucci at point guard. Of course, remember Quinn, he came in and buried a 3. Speaking of 3s, there's, they say, the young man that I think is the best we've seen at hitting those 3-pointers. He set a school record earlier this season on 3-pointers.
Any idea where he's going to play? Somebody
play for my team anytime. As we say, an excellent foul shooter. 87% for the year. highest percentage of any of the players we've seen during the regular season.
And you couldn't even think about jinxing that guy.
No. 1 minute to go here. Second period, 7-point Perry lead. Again, for Glenoak to stay in this one, they could really use a bucket here. Chip Hare's gotten a good rest here in the second period after a very strong showing, 15 points here in the first half.
Expending a lot of effort, too. He hustled all over the floor.
On the fast break, playing defense. Zerger almost had his pocket picked by Mickey Saban. It's about a 1 foot height difference there between Saban and Zerger. Good ball movement, but it's tipped away. I think Pettay got a hand on it. Garner comes away with it. He took the...
Oh, he carried it.
Carried it.
One or the other. Larry Wilson stands hands on hips.
16 seconds remain. Glenoak may play for the last shot here. Who has the basketball right now? Zach Johnson, Jason Zerger, and Foltz. And again, Meyer, the leading scorer for Glenoak in the first half, has an ice pack on his right knee. And Glenoak already a little short-handed coming in, and losing Meyer certainly wouldn't help that cause. And a turnover as Chip Hare comes away with it. Side to Pettay, swing it around, try to get it to Young. And Mucci with the steal. He'll take it right in. Tipped by Johnson, no, he comes away with it, puts it up and hits it. And it's a 2-point ball game. Young sophomore, Johnson now has 4.
And he hung tough with that one. We had it pinned underneath the hoop, took it down, settled up, and put it in.
Young behind the back in the lane.
Yes, no, yes.
And Hare's right there.
That hung in the center, looked like it was going to drop through, and then Hare took me off the hook.
And Jim Nicodemo just shakes his head. He just says,
nothing you can do, yeah, nothing you can do. I remember one of the first big guys years ago, Dan Obravik at Central. It was just like, you know, they'd never seen anybody like that.
Well, what's the old line? He was like Windex the way he cleaned the boards. Or in this case, the glass. It's been a strange game. I'll tell you why I make that statement after the shot by Johnson, which is missed. Spurgeon comes away with it. Hare's hitting about 80% from the floor and from the line, yet they only have a 4-point lead, and they were heavily favored coming in. Whoa, what hustle by Cardoli.
But Cardoli not able to control that pass. They had a 3-on-2 and just didn't do a very good job with the basketball. And ice pack is off of Meyer, and here he comes. They had the break. Spurgeon had position defensively, and the concentration was lost, and the ball went out of bounds.
Now, there was the effort, though, that Jim Nicodemo talked about. Here, Perry, as I say, 80% from the foul line, from the floor, and
you'd think they'd be blowing them away.
That's right. We've got a 4-point game. We played 2 minutes here in the third period. Garner, the lob into Hare, triple teamed off the glass.
There's nobody to go up and contest that area. He's got airspace all alone, just like us.
Chip Hare with 19 points. This is Foltz with the basketball.
What do we call that? Air superiority. It belongs to Chip Hare in this gym tonight.
Open to Zerger for 3, blocked away by Garner. We talked about his expertise from 3-point land, and at the foul line, he showed us some D there.
That ball landed in about the 4th row.
Well, they talk about late arriving crowds in LA. We got a lot of people just coming in now, as we're almost 3 minutes into the third period, and there's a turnover.
Yeah, okay. Your uncle
I don't know if I have some static.
Was your uncle named Morse?
Chip Hare, look at the pass to Pettay. Road to home. They've got Timken. They'll try for a revenge win there, as you mentioned. Then Worcester, and then Perry, if they want to get to the district finals. But I'll tell you, I think Dave Knoll's team is the most talented team not to be seeded.
That's a pretty strong statement, partner.
Oh yeah, and that takes nothing away from the teams that were seeded. That's how talented this field is. Now, we've been covering the tournament since '82, and it's by far, top to bottom, the most talented. I mean, McKinley certainly, Perry, Worcester.
That 4th seed was really up for grabs, wasn't it?
Jackson and Massillon. It's a shame you couldn't have 5 seeds in a tournament like that. Whereas Massillon, as the ball's taken away by Pettay, Massillon may have gotten a break because they're out of McKinley's bracket. Here's Young. Because you could say the bad news is that they're in Perry's bracket because the Panthers have played so well this season.
But that's a matchup that both the fans would like to see.
Sure, because they did not play during the regular season.
And they are neighbors. That would truly be a neighborhood battle.
Approaching the midway point, the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd period, a 10-point Perry lead. Going for more as Hare steals it. He lobbed it out there, and Mucci, with some good hustle, weave his way into the paint and got the roll.
That was an all-hustle bucket. Pace has been picked up by the Panthers.
That was an alley-oop pass that got away. 1st and 10 hoop.
Perry. That time Meyer had the ball, but he was on the ground and went to make a pass and went right through Cardoli's legs. Larry Wilson very calmly watching the 44X 3M. Who knows? Someday we're going to have to ask him about that.
Chip Hare.
A 10-point lead. That ties the biggest of the night, isn't it?
That's correct, and 21 points for Chip Hare. He has been the difference in this game.
Got half their points.
Little runner, left-handed by Cardoli, no. You see the Panthers now beginning to take control. Hare, back to Pettay.
Real nice passing game, 2-man game down the floor.
Oh, we have an injured player.
I didn't see him go down.
I believe that's Chad Spurgeon.
And he's pointing to his right ankle. I'm going to take him over to the bench and get a look at it. And as we mentioned, they've been fortunate to miss these bugaboos. They're going to take them right on into the locker room, as a matter of fact.
Mickey Saban will check in.
No headsets.
3 minutes and 14 seconds to go. 44-32 the score. Mucci with the ball. Over to Reggie Brown. Biggest lead now for Perry at 12. Air ball there. Chip Hare gets it to Tremaine Young. To Chip Hare.
And an easy one. Get him in that close, the ball game's over.
23 points. Biggest lead for the Panthers now, 14.
They've really stretched it since they came out at halftime. Glenoak not as comfortable offensively.
Meyer, rim no. Malinowski comes away with it. Kick it to Gardner. Garner with it. Mickey Saban cut off baseline. Chip Hare for 3. Oh my!
Well, we've had the dunk, the fast break, and the 3.
4 points against Timken. He's got 26 in this game. And we've got Doug Meyer in there. He's a young man who's battling a knee that got a stinger. We've got Chad Spurgeon in the locker room getting his ankle examined. This is Reggie Brown. Up with the shot is Elliott. Can't get it to go. Right there is Zach Johnson.
Elliott with an air ball came up short to Johnson. He just laid it in.
Long pass. Pettay just like a wide receiver. Pettay has 8, 6 in this period. Biggest lead for the Panthers. They stretched it to 17. You can feel them taking control of the tempo in this ball game here in this third stanza. Elliott's out there with Brown and Quinn and Johnson and Meyer. This is a very young group. Rim no. Tremaine Young comes away with the Panthers want to run, including Chip Hare. Oh, Elliott, I tell you, he got his money's worth on that one. He kept Hare from getting 2 more.
Hare had his eyes set on another slammeroo. He had the fans already standing. Nice pass. Elliott will reach in right there and slap it away.
Steve Garner is coming back in here in a minute. And Tremaine Young will get a breather. I just checked the 5 out there right now for Glenoak, all underclassmen. So as we talked about the future being very bright for the Alliance Aviators, same can be said for the Glenoak Golden Eagles. Chip Hare. He proved he was human. 4 out of 5 from the line. 27 points. Chip's within 7 now of his season high. The lead is 18. Good passing. Johnson almost had his pocket picked by Gardner.
Barry just denying the shot.
Control of this one. Chip Hare with 27 points in this ball game. Jason Pettay now with 8, and Steve Garner has 8. For Glenoak, Doug Meyer with 6, Ray Cardoli with 5, Mark Mucci has 6, Zach Johnson off the bench with 6, and Jeremy Foltz has 5. So Hare with half of the Perry points here. Tremaine Young, Steve Garner, Jason Pettay, Brett Stockdale is back in, and Brian Malinowski. Glenoak has Bruce Quinn, Reggie Brown, Zach Johnson, Jason Zerger, and Steve Elliott. Perry still right up around the 80% mark from the floor. And that won't hurt any. And Jason Pettay now with 8 of his 10 points in the second half.
Here, after a short rest, about 30 seconds worth, prepares to come back in, and now he will.
Well, you think about it, he's got the 27 points, and he sat out about half, I would say, of the second period.
That's correct.
Stockdale checks out. And of course, one reason, as Vic Steffen points out, you got teams shooting 80%, is that they're getting a lot of their shots down low, baseline. Many courtesy of Chip Hare.
Well, the only three-pointer all night long has been Hare.
Hare or here?
Hares.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would know about hares, though. If you...
Oh, boy. Tom Versatile there. Was the hair joke of the week on himself.
Before you did.
54-37. That's what you call anticipation.
There's the shot, a tip. And we're going to have a ball out of bounds with the pushing foul.
Jim Nicodemo also telling me that the tournament draws. That ball is thrown away. Malinowski comes away with it, puts it up. No, but he drew the foul. Good defense by Brian Malinowski, and Larry Wilson appreciates it.
Larry did like that one. There you see Malinowski, a full-out sprint. He still has presence of mind to throw it towards the hoop. In the background, you saw Larry Wilson with a big hand. Malinowski is 6'2" junior. Scott mentioned the first man off the Perry bench. Playing now a little bit more with Spurgeon in the locker room having his ankle examined.
Nice feet inside. Pettay counting a foul.
And he was trying to get up in stuff land.
Jason Pettay coming alive here offensively in the second half. He's looking for his 13th point at the line. Now Jason had a variety of injuries early in the season. Larry Wilson says he's getting healthy at just the right time, tournament time. Mucci and Meyer are in the lineup. And Johnson and Quinn will take a seat. Pettay 3 out of 3 from the line, 13 points in the game. And the biggest lead for Perry, 20 points here. And looking for more, Malinowski, second good defensive play to Hare!
No comment. Let the picture tell the story.
Elliott drives off the glass, wave it off. Charging foul. Just under 7 minutes remain to be played. The Perry lead is 22.
Elliott on the drive. He flattens Young. Bucket goes, but it's waved off by referee George Copeland.
29 points now for Chip Hare.
And this was out of hand if you're a Glenoak Rooter at this point.
Yeah, they played tough. They hung tough through the first half of this ball game, and Perry taking control in the third period. They outscored Glenoak 20-9 in that frame, and picking it up here, they've scored the first 7 points in the fourth period.
If my math is correct, that's a 27-9 run.
Very good. You didn't even need Stat Stefan on that one. Jason Zerger in the open court, and he's fouled by Garner.
Garner that time just slid over along the baseline and cut him off, and Zerger had no place to go. Zerger's got good position. Garner 32 moves in, never does establish defensive position, and Zerger will go to the line and shoot a couple.
How's this for divided loyalties? Jason's father, Chuck Zerger, is a teacher here at Perry, and his son plays for Glenoak.
He was just hoping for a good game.
Yeah, right.
Got me in the middle of a yawn.
Jason exploded for 34 points as that one rolls and falls in. That was 2 weeks ago. He has struggled offensively since that time. He has 4 points in this game, averaging 17. He's still the leading scorer for Glenoak.
20-point Perry lead, 6:25 remaining. And a while ago, it was a 4-point deficit. Little traveling music on Malinowski. He'll turn it over to Glenoak.
Mucci, Foltz, and Brown defensively. There you see no foul shot there. Defense by Chip Hare, and they'll call a travel on Malinowski.
Malinowski fell down as he was trying to pass the ball. He was skidding on the floor. That is a turnover.
Each team has one regular season game remaining. Next Friday night, Perry closes out the regular season at home against Akron Firestone. Next Friday, Glenoak will host Kent Roosevelt. Reggie Brown for 3 off the side of the iron. Pettay comes down with the rebound. Zerger comes down over Pettay. First tournament game for Perry, Wednesday, February 27th against Lake. For Glenoak, Tuesday, February 26th against Hoover.
Pettay with good position. It's a long rebound, and Pettay can only reach over the top and crack him in the back of the head. We're going to walk down, and Pettay will shoot 1 plus the bonus.
Tom and I were talking during the last break. This is indeed our last regular season telecast with the continued support of our local advertisers and with cooperation from tournament officials. We hope to see you next for the Canton District Tournament, which would be the first full week of March.
And that is fast approaching. Hard to believe we're a month and a half into the new year.
Hard to believe that the regular season is just about history.
Won't
Strong
be.
night for Pettay, 15 points. He's played very well offensively in the second half.
The thing is, at any one time, one of these 5 guys can get hot, and it kind of rotates through the ball game.
3 by Foltz, partially blocked by Hare, saved by Zerger, right to Young, kick it ahead to Hare. Cut in a foul.
He's showing it all tonight. You've seen it all, baby.
Tom Canel, who did not place in the Dick Vitale Sunderland contest.
There you saw it. Just a beautiful move. Fouled as he went by, and Hare puts it up and rolled around. He's getting every roll of the ball tonight, too, and that doesn't hurt.
The hand is for Steve Garner. We may have seen the last of Steve here tonight. May give him the rest of the night off.
Place is going to go crazy when the big guy goes out.
Chip Hare, 32 points, within 2 of his season high. 64-39. Reggie Brown, no. See, they call a blocking foul.
I think they do. They're going to get
Pettay.
Well, they're going to get number 52. you tell me who that is.
Yep, they slipped one in
Oh,
on
it's
us.
going to be Pettay, but 52 standing right in the neighborhood.
Now keep track of what's going on. Let's go to our last line of sources here.
Go ahead, I'll put Reggie Brown at the line to shoot 2. Brown, a 6-foot junior guard on the basketball team, and as Scott alluded to earlier, the tailback on the Glenoak Golden Eagle football team. Trying to get the 40th point for the Golden Eagles. He does, 64-40 at the 5:16 mark. Brown will get 1 more.
Well, Reggie has 4, and my last line of defense just collapsed. Couldn't get the second one to go, and Hare comes away with it. Maybe we can ask Mr. Lee Carpenter to check on that. Oh, Stockdale comes down hard.
Another foul right beneath us. As that time, I think it was Stockdale that was knocked to the ground. And he's going to get a chance to toe the line. And
all right, Jason Pettay is limping to the locker room to join Spurgeon.
I missed that.
That's about, you have this big win and you make some history in the Federal League and all, and then it's dampened with a pair of injuries to Spurgeon and Pettay. Now, Pettay's been banged up throughout the year, so maybe it's just a continuation of that, but Spurgeon has not reappeared since being carried off. Stockdale now 8 out of 12 from the line for the year.
Get a chance to split the pair.
Quinn getting set to check back in for Glenoak, and Mucci will sit down. Stockdale can't get the second to go. Foltz double teamed, including the big guy Hare. Stolen away, stolen right back by Foltz. What does he get for it? He gets Hare back in his face again. Chip Hare. I must say, I think the best game he's played. I believe that's a 2 by Brown. Missed it, but it comes right to Quinn. He misses. Volleyballed around. Hare comes away with it. Kick it out for Stockdale. Zerger comes away with it.
Helter Skelter again. Another 3.
Reggie Brown misses it. And Myers right there. He misses it. Oh, a nice tip by Reggie Brown.
Reggie coming in weak side, just soared across the bucket and will tip that one in.
Reggie has 6.
He just finished what he started there on the first end of that shot.
Brett Stockdale into Hare. This would tie his season high. We're midway through the 4th period. Just over 4 minutes remain to be played here. Good hustle by Malinowski.
And Hare knocked it away originally. He's waving off. Pettay was coming back in, and
that's good to see him at least back out on the bench.
And Hare waved him off. He said, "No, I'm having a good time. Thanks anyway."
Thanks for stopping, as you like to say.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Jim Nicodemo.
And he's not happy he stopped by here in the second
Zerger
half.
for 3. Nope, Chip with the rebound. I think Chip's having a lot of fun out there.
He's playing a little guard, little forward, little center.
Saban, this is Malinowski into the big man. Triple team, 4 around. All 5 men around him. No, wave it off, traveling. Now look at this. Talk about team defense.
Well, they had a meeting right there with Chip Hare, and that's what I said earlier. Everything he's thrown at the hole tonight goes right in. Even that went in. There's a 3 from left field. Foul on the mystery man. Hate not to be able to. There's Garner back out.
We're going to see if Super Scoop Lee Carpenter can find out who number 52 is for Perry. And I'll give you the book here, Lee. You can just go down by the bench there. Take this with you, maybe just circle it there as we do this instructional things. There we go. Thank you, sir. The first time, Brian Kozinski, 5'11" senior. Feed inside to Hare. There's your season high. Yeah, Mr. Carpenter, mission accomplished. Matt Rodriguez is wearing number 52. He's the young man that got a bucket a few minutes ago. Chip Hare, unofficially, season high, 36 points.
Yeah, we found something else Lee could do besides eat. And that bucket is good. That's going to be Zach Johnson. He's going to get a chance to go to the line and make a 3-pointer out of it.
Zach will be looking for his 9th point at the line.
See who the foul is on. It appears it's on Chip Hare, and it is.
Matt Rodriguez, a 5'10" sophomore. Now you see him running toward the line as you get a good look at another youngster, Zach Johnson. He's got, looking for his 9th point. His season high is 12. That was against Alliance earlier this season. 2.5 minutes left to be played. 70-48 the score. The second half, Perry has outscored Glenoak 38-20. That's really been the difference here tonight.
Hare will go to the line as we walk up this way.
As we mentioned, it's unofficial, especially since I'm keeping track of it. We've got Chip Hare for 36 points.
Hare with a good-natured comment to Jim Nicodemo on the way by. Nicodemo says, "I'm glad you're graduating."
Yeah, right. Have a good life and
Thanks
see
for
ya.
stopping.
Yeah, right.
I think it says Dayton is nice this time of year.
Yes. Yeah, Chip's done it all here tonight. He is 2, 4, 6 out of 7 from the foul line.
We'll help a program down there that has had, on occasion, some very good basketball teams.
(72-48). Meyer, nice move off the glass. No, guess who with the rebound? Fans yelling, "Chip, Chip, Chip" here.
Well, it's been Chips Ahoy tonight.
Saban tried to get it into the big man. Zerger comes away with it. They'll call a foul on Saban.
That time, there you see, the tall and the short of it there for
Just under 2 minutes left to be played.
Walking up the floor, the 5'8" Saban and the 6'10" Hare next to each other look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Twins, too. Or son of twins.
Yes.
Brian Malinowski gets a hand. I believe his night will be complete.
Well, he got some points, some rebounds, and some skinned knees. He was a hustler.
Jason Zerger, 2 out of 2 from the line, and that's his 6th point of the night. Well, hopefully you'll have a chance to talk to Larry Wilson here shortly, and the questions we'll be asking. And Zerger splits the pair. Cordoli comes away with it. Ball out to Perry. Of course, the Chad Spurgeon injury. I'm not sure how much Larry, will know on that, but what a night for Chip Hare. And if you're going to award 3 stars, the supporting star award, certainly offensively, would have to be Jason Pettay. Hare!
This is as good as I've seen him play, and I've seen him play a dozen times.
Got him for 38 points. Zach Johnson counting a foul. I want to check, well, if you get a chance, what Chip's career high is. We know this is his high for the season.
There's the foul. Bucket will count. And Johnson will go to the line to see if he can convert another 3-point opportunity, much as he did a few minutes ago.
Well, speaking of career highs, I'll pause there, so try not to jinx him.
The pause did not.
Yeah, the pause that didn't refresh.
That's
in that
right.
case. If he had made that shot, he would have had 12, and being a young sophomore, his first year on the varsity, that would have tied his career best. Nat Fraley is in.
6'7" junior.
Checking out Jim Westland, 6'4" sophomore. The 3 by Quinn. Boy, he's been deadly from out there. It's his 3rd 3-pointer of the night. He's got 9. Chip Hare triple team. This is Fraley. Hare puts up the 3. Oh!
That was going in. I was going for my car keys. Uh-oh.
Oh, back to Hare in the lane. Put it up. Out in a foul.
A career night for Chip Hare. Hare gets the nice feedback, takes it into the middle, is fouled putting it up. As usual tonight, it finds its way right in.
I bet this is his career high. 42 points. I don't believe in the years we've been together televising we've ever had a high school player score this many points.
Or take control of a ball game.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of other things
Yeah,
too.
just take control of the ball game. He's rebounded, he's dribbled the ball up the floor through traffic. He's played defense.
He's hit the boards. He's done it all here tonight.
And he'll get Scott Davis as player of the game in a landslide. Oh, Quinn.
Oh, my. 4 3-pointers. He shot that one from downtown Canton.
He was behind the car.
A 20-point lead here. Got a hand on it, but it comes to Quinn. Watch out.
He was just trying to find a spot.
That was close. Hare with another rebound. Inside 30 seconds left to be played. And the bucket by Kozinski. 3-point effort by Chip Hare. Down to TC with a very happy Larry Wilson.
With Larry Wilson, the coach of the Perry Panthers, let's be the first to congratulate you on an undefeated season. That's a tough job in the Federal League.
Undefeated in Federal League, it is, because the league's so competitive, night after night. And Glenoak showed it the first half. They came out and got a lot of loose balls, rebounded the ball really well. In the second half, we took our defense and our rebounding up and definitely another notch.
You seemed, when you came out at halftime, did you make many changes inside? Because it looked like you went to another level.
Well, we just said, hey, let's come out and play, because Glenoak, like I said, was getting all the loose balls the first half, and we weren't rebounding very well. But second half, we really did a good job.
Your big man, Chip Hare, 42 points, a real man out there.
Well, he was awesome. He really, and just think he sit out about 5 minutes in the second quarter.
Whose fault was that?
The officials, because he had 2 fouls in there, and he didn't want him to get a third foul. But he played awesome tonight.
One thing that he showed us tonight, he showed us he could dribble the basketball, he could pass, he could play some good defense. He's not just a one-dimensional player.
Definitely so. He was awesome. It was an awesome performance, and it wasn't, against a pretty good team. I mean, Glenoak fought its whole way, and Chip, worked hard and got his points, and he deserves it.
Well, besides Chip, you got an awfully good cast right down, and your Malinowski off the bench, your sixth man, another good hustler.
Yeah, Mal had a really good game for us. I was really proud of our kids the way we played the second half period. I mean, we did a good job.
Well, I think it's a credit to you and your staff and the players. It's not easy to go through the Federal League. 3 of the teams seeded this year are Federal League teams. It's hard to go through that league unbeaten.
Oh, definitely so. And, like I said, year in, year out, because the closeness of the schools makes the league so competitive. And it's hard to do, and our kids did it, and that's quite a tribute to them, because, not only our kids, but our coaches like, Pat Carroll at the freshman.
As always, fine job technically. Tonight's game co-produced by Lee Carpenter and Kevin Hoffman. Of course, Stats Stefan right on top of things. And let's take a look at the final stats, and you're going to see another record I don't ever remember. A team, high school, college, professional level, that shot 86% from the field for the game. Vic Stefan has Perry 30 out of 35, and you add in 16 out of 21 from the line, a 10 board edge as far as rebounds go. And it's really not that Glenoak played that badly, it's that Perry played that well. Individually, quickly, Chip Hare, 43 points. Jason Pettay with a total of 15, 8 for Steve Garner, and 3 for Brian Malinowski, 2 for Chad Spurgeon. We hope Chad's okay. He limped off, carried off, in fact. Second half, Tremaine Young with 4, and Brian Kaczynski and Rodriguez each with a bucket for 2. For Glenoak, ironically, their leading scorer will be Bruce Quinn, who led it up with 4 3-pointers for a total of 12. Another player off the bench, Zach Johnson, finishing with 11, 9 for Doug Meyer, 6 for Jason Zerger, 5 for Ray Cordelli, 6 for Mark Mucci, 5 for Jeremy Foltz. And that's going to wrap it up, and that all adds up to a Perry 79-60 win over Glenoak. And let me also add my congratulations to the Perry Panthers, the first undefeated team in Federal League play in a decade. Well, once again, that's going to wrap up our regular season coverage of high school basketball 1991. For my broadcast partner, Tom Canel, and our statistician, Vic Stefan, again, I'll say it one more time, if we can have the continued advertising support that we need, plus the cooperation of tournament officials, we hope to see you the first week in March for the Canton District Tournament. This TV 67 special sports presentation has been brought to you in part by George Wakeham Ford. George Wakeham really is your friend at the factory. Rex Reliable Heating and Air Conditioning. For comfort and economy, call one of Stark County's oldest and largest heating and cooling dealers. Valley Systems and Hydro Laser Technologies, working today for a better tomorrow. And Toyota, and your Toyota dealers. Now the names of the people making this game possible for everyone at TV 67 and Image Video. My name is Scott Davis. Have a good night, everybody.